Every level of wealth in 13 minutes.
Imagine the world is represented by these bubbles. If we resize them according to the population size, we get this picture.
India and China be making a lot of babies.
I'm going to rank them from poorest to richest and show you how people live around the world.
Okay,
We'll start with farmers living with less than $2 per day and
Dang.
climb all the way to Elon Musk. And I'm gonna make a bet. You probably can't answer these two simple questions about the world. Fewer than 2% of my viewers got them right.
Talk to
Question
me.
1. Where does the majority of the world population live?
India, you just showed us that.
A. Low income, B. Middle income, or C. High income
I'm gonna go low, A.
countries. And 2. Since year 2000, has global wealth inequality A. increased, B. stayed the
Since year
same, or C. decreased?
Since year 2000, global wealth inequality has increased, A. So I'm going A for both answers.
Hold on to your answers,
Talk
we'll
to
come
me.
back to them.
What?
This video was inspired by the book Factfulness, and I also took inspiration from these videos.
Link in the description. W sponsorship. Let me see if he has the book. This nigga didn't even put the book. Hell.
I'm gonna rank our countries starting at the bottom.
Okay.
According to the World Bank, the 10
Y'all Somalians is broke. Big forehead mother. Let me stop.
countries with the lowest GDP per capita in the world are all African countries. The more the bubbles are to the left, the lower the GDP per capita. And the country with the lowest GDP per capita is Burundi. Let's
What
see
the
how
hell is
people live
that?
there.
Burgundy. $1 a day?
The median wage in Burundi is $1.80 per day.
I'd be
Each
hood
woman
rich.
has an average of around 5 children.
Yo, bro, I with 5 children, I'd be rich over there. I'd have girls literally feeding me grapes, nigga. Yo, I need to slide over to Burundi. However you say
Child
it.
mortality is
Burundi.
high, and
Yeah.
5% of children
Damn.
don't make it to 5 years old.
Oh,
Families are large, and
shit.
most of them depend on agriculture to make a living.
fuck.
Most people live in
This is
rural
an instant,
areas,
by the way, y'all.
often in houses made with mud bricks.
Okay.
The Gapminder Foundation documented how families live around the world and made their footage freely available. This family with 1 woman and 4 children had a total income of 90 cents per day. They live in a house with no electricity.
Right.
Light comes from fire, which they also use to cook. This family sleeps on a bed made of straw, and this is their toilet. To find water, they need to
Dang.
walk to natural sources and carry that water back home. Most families in Burundi live in extreme poverty, and that's
Man's got poo-poo water, gang. They drink, cook, and shower in poo-poo water? Ew.
also true for most people in these countries.
No,
But
G.
so far, our chart only includes about 3.6% of the world population. I'm going to keep
Okay.
adding more countries until we get to about a quarter of the population.
I need to go to Burundi to get so I can be rich.
We get mostly African countries like Ethiopia and Nigeria.
All right, chill out on
and
my
Asian
Africans.
countries like Pakistan and
Y'all Nigerians is broke. Y'all Moroccans is broke. Y'all Kenyans is broke. Black motherfucker. Let me stop playing.
Bangladesh. I'm going to pick Bangladesh and see how people live there.
Bangladesh. That sounds pretty expensive, actually. Okay.
The median income in Bangladesh is $4.78 per day.
Okay.
Each woman has an average of 2.3 children. This family has 5 people, and they live in a house with a metal roof.
Ew.
They have beds, they have access to a
Ew, doo-doo water, bro. What's up with everybody having doo-doo water, bro? Yo, it's like the poorer you are, the more poopy the water is or something. What is this?
pipe well, which is how most people get their water in
Ew.
Bangladesh. They have a toilet and a place to wash their hands. They also have basic phones.
Okay, Maximus, talk to
Their
that.
house has electricity, like more than 99% of households in Bangladesh.
What?
This
the
might not sound like a big deal, but in Portugal, a high-income country in the country where I'm from, if we go back to 1970, only 64% of the population had access to electricity. Some people think that countries like Bangladesh will always stay poor. But the reality is that Bangladesh, in some aspects, is already more developed than the Portugal my parents grew up in.
Okay.
If we go back to our bubbles and add colors based on the income level according to the World Bank, we see that even though we're at the bottom 23% of the population, most countries in this chart are not considered low income.
What?
Bangladesh is considered medium income, or lower middle income to be precise. Most of the world population lives in middle income countries.
Yo,
A question that only
He's weird.
27% of my audience got right.
he's weird.
I also got it wrong. In 2000, 29% of people lived in extreme poverty. Nowadays, that percentage has fallen to less than a third. In
Okay.
a single generation, billions transition out of poverty.
Okay. Okay.
And while that was happening,
pretty good.
another quiet
Let's clap it up. Sounds like buoy clapping, but yeah, I can't clap because I got this
transformation took place. Millions of people transitioned out of their poor problem-solving skills with Brilliant, the sponsor of this video. Smarter everything, lecturing your bit out of it. For advanced to learn, QR codes also get to reach it and other countries across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Let's see how people live in Indonesia.
Vietnam, Nam.
The median wage is around $6 per day, and women have on average around 2 children.
Okay.
Most families now live in urban areas, not rural. As countries develop, the population tends to migrate from the countryside into urban areas. This family of 4 lives in a house with a bathroom, a kitchen, bedrooms.
Ew, get a mattress or a box spring. Why is the wall all brown? Ew.
And other amenities we didn't see in the previous income level.
Okay.
Motorbikes are a common means of transportation.
That's a moped.
And most people have access to internet and
That's an Android. Okay.
use smartphones. We're entering the richer half of the world.
Talk to me.
We now get mostly upper middle income countries from Latin America, Eastern Europe, Africa, and
Thailand, the lady
Asia,
boys.
including China. Let's pick Brazil.
Talk to me.
The median wage in Brazil is about $13 per day.
Okay.
In Brazil, women have on average 1.6 children. For the first time, we get a fertility rate below the replacement level.
When you round that out and make it 2, actually, this is bad journalmanship.
Wealthier countries tend to have lower fertility rates. Although hunger is still a problem in Brazil, more people die from obesity than undernutrition. As countries develop, the percentage of obese population also tends to increase. At this level of income, it's now common for people to have a car and a computer. Brazil is above the global average, but still far from the world's richest. If we add more bubbles, we start getting high-income countries.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Chile, Tobago, Turkey.
We're now at 90% of the world's population,
Check.
and I'm gonna pick Spain. The median income is $41 per day.
Okay.
In countries like Spain, most people live in good quality housing. They have access to decent healthcare, social security, and public facilities. At this tier, you also start getting the freedom to travel to almost everywhere. A Spanish citizen can travel to a total of 189 countries visa-free. For most of the world, that is not the case.
Right.
If we look at the passport index of every country, we see that lower income countries have a lower number of destinations they can visit without a visa.
Right.
The freedom to travel the world depends on the income level of your country.
Okay.
Despite having good living standards compared to the rest of the world, many people in these countries haven't enjoyed the economic growth we got in countries like Bangladesh or Indonesia. I spoke with a
Because they started out higher than them, so the margin to grow is always going to be harder. It's like if you're already the second richest, if you're like the top 10 richest, it's going to be much harder for you to jump to the top 5 richest versus if you're an average person jumping to the top 1,000 richest, it's going to be a lot easier. That makes sense.
Economist Branko Milanovic, one of the researchers behind the famous chart explaining this. It's called the elephant curve. On the x-axis, we have the income percentile of the global population. The chart shows us how much income has grown across the population in the 20 years up to 2008. The people around the 50th percentile of income, mostly people in Asia, saw big gains. But then for the Western middle class, the curve flatlines.
That makes sense.
People who are around the 70.
It's like when you first start working out, you're gonna max out, and your max are gonna go up fast and high. But the higher you go up, the harder it's gonna be to increase the max. That makes sense.
5th, 80th percentile of the world income distribution, which means they are richer than the Chinese, had very slow growth, and in many cases actually growth of close to 0% per year over 20 years.
Wow.
And meanwhile, the global top 1% captured a large share of the growth, riding the wave of globalization. In recent years, the curve becomes smoother, but the pattern still holds.
Right.
Many in the West feel stuck, while much of Asia has moved up. Let's move higher. In the final 10% of the world's population, we find the
USA,
wealthiest countries such as the US.
We're rich? Yo, see, Americans are so freaking ungrateful because we have so much opportunity. We make so much money compared to everybody else, but we're the main ones complaining about the economy. You see how that works? We always look at the glass as Americans half empty instead of half full when niggas would kill to be in our position. That's crazy. That's crazy.
The median
I'm
wage in the
disappointed.
US
This past 5-year run, I've never been more disappointed to be an American. I can't lie.
is about $62 per day. Living standards are not super different from the previous
Also, for all of you Africans that parents move from their respective countries to come to America, and y'all were born here, y'all niggas aren't Nigerian or something. Like, y'all are us. I want y'all to know that. Like, y'all are 100% us. Don't be trying to say, oh, y'all Americans, you're me, my nigga, because you grew up here the same way. If your parents grew up in the hood, but you grew up in the suburbs, you're not a hood baby. You're a suburban. So stop trying to act like, oh, I'm African, blah, 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 I eat halal, nigga. You were born in American soil. You're an American. Or if you were in the first 3 years of your life, if you moved to America, you're American still. I don't care.
year, but people can afford more things here. Americans tend to have bigger houses, bigger cars, and they can buy more things in general. Most Americans are quite rich compared to the rest of the world.
It is 11 to 12% of Americans who are in
And we're the fattest ones
the
too.
global top 1%. And I
Damn.
think many of them don't realize that.
But this doesn't mean every American is rich. So far, we've only been looking at country averages, but inside each of these bubbles, there are both rich people and poor people. We need to look at the inequality within countries.
Okay.
The bubbles now show how much income the top 10% earn in each country. In the US, the top 10% get 47% of the income.
Damn.
The country with the highest income inequality is South Africa.
So 65% of the top 10% of people, they get like more than half of the economy's money. Wow.
Where the top 10% get 65% of the
Wow. So it's like the only way to make it fair is if they got 10%. So that'd be like Czechs, Netherlands, Spain, kind of like this area. Damn, man. That's fucked.
income. And we're talking about income, which tells you how much money someone
Yeah, that's just income. That doesn't account for business profits, write-off. This is just income. Oh my God.
earns. But we should also look at the wealth, the accumulated worth of everything you
Yeah.
own. It includes your savings, but also your house, your car,
Roths,
and your investments,
RIAs,
making it arguably a better indicator
yeah.
of inequality.
Gang.
If we switch the chart from income to wealth inequality, the gap becomes even bigger. South Africa also has the highest wealth inequality,
Bro,
with the top 10%
Them
holding
niggas in
almost 86%
South Africa
of
is
the total wealth.
scamming, bro. They're
On the other end,
scamming.
in the Netherlands, they own 45%.
Okay.
Wealth
That's
inequality
better.
within countries has generally increased in the last decades. Each country has a different trend, but in the US, the top 10% owns 71% of the wealth in 2021, more than 25 years earlier.
Oh shit.
This number also went up in all of the world's top 10 economies.
Damn.
This can have negative impacts, and several economists
I like
argue
that
that
beat,
the
though.
more unequal a society, the weaker its institutions tend to become over time. The World Inequality Report argues that this was not inevitable, but a political choice. They argue that in the 80s, leaders like Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher pushed a series of policies that made private wealth go up and public wealth go down. So their argument here is that if governments own less, then in theory they're less capable of tackling inequality. But from now on, we're not going to talk about countries anymore. We're entering global wealth tiers.
Okay.
If your wealth is at least $1 million, then you're part of the global 1%.
Okay.
This could mean having $1 million in your bank account or just owning an expensive house. There are 82 million people in this group, and they own 38% of the world's wealth.
Hmm.
To make
Dang.
it to the top 0.01%, you need a wealth of at least $21 million.
Okay.
There are about 800,000 people in this group, and they own 11% of the world's wealth. It's estimated that private jets are used by about 0.003% of the population, which would be about 30% of this group. If your wealth is at least $1 billion, then you're considered a billionaire.
Okay.
There are roughly 3,000 billionaires in the world, and they own 3% of the world's wealth.
Okay.
Over the years, the wealth of global billionaires has gone up, and the same is true for the people in the previous tier. But one billionaire takes the number one position on Forbes.
Elon. Not Bill Gates, Elon, I guess.
As of the making of this video, Elon Musk is the wealthiest person in the world with a net worth of almost $400 billion.
Fuck,
Between
bro.
2020 and 2024, Elon Musk's
Damn.
wealth grew at an average rate of $1,300 per second.
Bro.
If Elon Musk saw $100
Dude, there's niggas that are like struggling for $200 a day and he makes $1,000 in a sec. Dude.
bill on the floor, it would literally not be worth his time to pick it up.
What the Fuck, bro. Shit, nigga.
So-
niggas like grind and get your money up. There's no point.
So now that we've reached the top, let's revisit question 2.
I picked
Has
A.
global
Remember,
inequality
y'all,
gone up
I
since
doubled A.
2000? Most of my audience said yes, and that makes sense. We've seen the rise of billionaires in the top 0.01% and increasing inequality within countries. But the answer, to my own surprise, is C.
This guy's a dickhead, bro. I'm done with this video. This guy's a dickhead. He purposely asked a question that makes it sound like it's gonna be right just to tell you you're wrong. This guy's a dickhead. Good video though, memeable data, you bastard child. Great video, man. I guess one day I'll be in those whatever those top 4 or 5 categories. One of these days we're getting there. But yeah, I'm Virgo. Check out my main channel. This is my second channel. Check out my main channel where I talk about more mindset topics and actually kind of like how to get rich and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, man, I'm Alex the Virgo. I'll see y'all. Love.